All right, Liam. I'll let you be free. Welcome back, my fellow duplicants. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a live stream here. Going to be taking a look at the sour gas boiler, and I'm going to try to reduce this down to something a little bit smaller. I have a couple of methods here that I think that work out pretty good as far as using different gases and whatnot to kind of pre-cool, preheat, and whatnot. We ended up with a decently efficient build last time, so now I'm going to try to reduce it down to right around about 6 or so generators down from this massive block you're seeing here. That way, hopefully, we have some sort of slightly more practical plan that we could potentially implement in a base for real, and then maybe potentially scale up from there. And let me see if I can get this chat somewhere where it isn't like way off the screen. There we go. If you have saves or any sort of recommendations, you can throw them on the Discord channel. I'm not going to look at them right now, though. That's the best way to do it, and then just at me under general or anything like that. That's the best way. But I have seen several different recommendations. I'm mostly going to be redesigning this setup right here and then putting the generators off to the side. Alright, so to do this one, what I've done is kind of recalculated the gases and stuff a little bit here. So what I hope to achieve today is a system that's going to put out right around 5,000 watts, roughly. It looks like 4,600 or so. And that might scale up and down a little bit right now. The limitation I currently have with this build right here is the amount of cooling surface that I have. Not necessarily the rest of it, it's just how much surface I have available. So what I'm going to do is, rather than trying to make a system here that looks completely symmetrical like this, you know, or shall we say that this one was kind of made to look cool just for the sake of doing all these experiments. What I'm going to do is use the same methods here, but I'm going to put it off to one side so that we can expand the chamber to the right if you wanted to increase the capacity. So let's start up with this metal tile right here. Okay, so we're going to just build the aqua tuner and all of this stuff down below it. And I'll try to respond to the comments as I can, but we're going to see here. I mean, I usually don't live stream when I'm designing something like this because it's just kind of takes a lot of focus sometimes. I don't really have a ton of space over here, so I think I'm just going to go over here to the left. I wish the game let me zoom out further. Somebody mod that? Let's see if I can turn this. Oh, there we go. Now I can hear myself. It's so weird talking into a vacuum. It happens. All right, there we go. Just gonna cover this stuff up. All right, so where's everybody at from today? Do we got some people from Europe? I think we got some people from over there. People are saying that it's near dinner time. It is 2 o'clock where I'm at. You know what? Since I just kind of put that out there, let's go ahead. I'm going to copy a channel, and we're going to make one. It's going to be called Sour Gas Boilers at this point. So there's a sour gas boiler channel on the Discord. You can just go ahead and look right at that one. In Belgium, dinner time, Australia. My gosh, it always surprises me how people are just all over the world when it comes to these video things. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Russia. All right, let's not spend too much time just messing around here. Let's get into this thing. So, first things first here is I want to have 2 tiles, but this time I'm going to try to use some more practical metals here. So I think I'll just go with iron. Then, of course, on top of that, you want to have the aqua tuner. That needs to be nice and high temp. Germany, Spain, my gosh, everywhere. Canada. Hey, mate. All right, so then I'm going to throw down this airflow tile right there. This method just works out pretty good when you use it. So I could make this as small as 2 tiles right here. If I just put the gas off to one side, right, and that's where we kind of put all the air pumps, and then kind of put everything else that's going to happen over here. We'll see. I'll see. Just, I don't want to try to make it as small as possible, but pretty close to it. We need at least the liquid vent, and we need the hydro sensor inside of there as well. For the sake of this, we'll use insulation. Why not? Yeah, bigger camera zoom out. Yeah, for me, just to see what I've created. That's what I need. So I have 3 tiles above that before I get to the top. That's important. 1, 2, 3. There we go. One of the things I'm going to try to get rid of is that steam turbine up there. I don't think I need this. So I think what I can do is actually use this machine right up here, which is actually just my cold heat sink, to suck away the extra heat right there and then actually recycle it. We'll see. We'll see if I can get rid of that. So rather than having that, what I'll have up there is a couple of doors. Or I'll have a door above that. And then this will be a metal tile. So something like that. Now, all right, so there's that. Now, once we come out of that, probably just want to have metal tiles over here to the left, because what I'm going to be doing is transferring that heat. One of the thoughts was I could potentially put an oil spot up here. Let's just go ahead and place this down. I could put a container for the oil to phase change it into petroleum in this area, and then just run the gas down here. That would actually be the natural gas. So take this right here, throw that in this spot, and take what I'm doing here, kind of like use it like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it a try. Yes, put an oil spot. All right, we're going to put an oil spot there. Okay. So how many gas pumps am I going to need? Where's my natural gas? Doesn't look like I'm going to need a whole lot, actually. I guess this is smaller for once, it actually is smaller. All right, we'll see. Apparently I'm only going to need like 2. But we'll see. We'll see. By the time I'm done with it, I'm sure I'll need more. Yeah, sorry, I can't keep up with all the chat there. What do we got? Coal power, you can run coal power a long time, especially if you have a hatch farm. I mean, that way you get food and you get power. Carbon dioxide is really useful for keeping your food. There's nothing wrong with coal power. All right, so before I go and mess with this and try to make it too small, I'll leave yet another option down there. And then we'll get into condensation right down here. And here's where I define just how wide I want this. So I could start with 2 wide, but I kind of want to leave this open so that if I want to make it wider, I could just add another aqua tuner, or I could just make this thing physically wider. Okay, so once I have that, I'm just going to put the pump down there. It works well when you actually don't have a sensor on it. Although it also works well if you put a sensor on it. You can really go either way. So I could do this and put a liquid sensor down there, but honestly it works just as good as if you just pump it right when you get it. It's not that different. Okay, so we're starting to outline this machine. So I've got a liquid pump that I can put up here. Got a vent that's going to be there. Ooh, maybe we want to do this. Copy that. Copy that. Put some automation between it. There we go. Need an Atmos sensor for this. Automation for all of those pumps. There we go. I don't like being cramped in that much. Why am I streaming on YouTube? That's because I'm covering Oxygen Not Included. I stream other games on Twitch, and then I stream Oxygen Not Included here. Just has to do with why people subscribed or why people followed. Okay. So, next thing we need is some oil. Right? So we got to figure out the path of all the liquids here. Look at that madness. So we're not going to use a full oil well at this point. You know what? I think for the sake of not having to set all that up, I might just not worry about that. Just kind of use a tank of oil right now. That's something you'd set up somewhere else in your base, honestly. Okay, so if we got some oil, that oil flows up and heats up while it's going up. But we don't want it to get too hot. So what I want to do is actually probably run the oil pipe right up here. Oh, thanks so much for the super chat. I taught you the most about oxygen not included. Keep it up. All right, thank you. I'm actually looking to do some more tutorials and actually reorganize a lot of the tutorials I've already done. I have 280 videos. It's hard to find anything anymore. So, that's one of my missions, and I might need some help with that one, is to actually just kind of reorganize it and put it into something that's easy to follow. So if I do the oil, it's kind of a two-stage thing, I guess, right? We'll kind of do this number. So it gathers some heat, and then it goes up into this area, which is going to be quite a bit hotter. So this up here will be near 400, maybe even 500 degrees. And then down here, we're going to get into the 300s or so. It'll probably be like 100 by the time it gets down here, then we go sub-zero. Okay, so the oil goes up. We will use the oil well, because then you get the consistent temperatures. If we don't do that, then we won't get the right numbers. Oh well, we'll get there. Guess I gotta figure out where I want all my generators. Probably want the generators over here. Ooh, this works out pretty good. If I put the liquid shutoff right there. And that's not too long of a run. Cool. And we could just plug that right in there. All right, so now that I have this liquid pump, that's actually going to be flowing. So I want to pump this somewhere where it isn't going to run into a bunch of stuff. All right. Probably have to rework these pipes a bunch of times. There we go. That looks cool. So that's where the methane is going to flow up there, get reheated, turn into natural gas. Natural gas will then absorb some heat and flow on out. Okay, cool. Andrew, thanks so much for the super chat here. Love the videos. Smart, but try to make it as small as you can to help in the materials. Yeah, we'll see here. We'll see just how small I can make it. It's usually easier to take away tiles than it is to make it as small as possible to begin with. So you can't. I don't know how quickly the temperature is going to drop from here to here. So I might be able to make it a little bit smaller. I think the big savings is savings on the rare materials, such as thermium, and going to be and the liquid supercoolant. If I can save on supercoolant, that's going to be the big one. Refined iron isn't that. I mean, that's easy stuff. Why would I not put the vents down here? Because I want it to drop down in temperature as fast as possible. Although since I'm running gas pipes, would that make sense? No, because if I go to the coldest here and then it's the hottest here, then it's going to drop as efficiently as possible. That's why they're at the top. Well, the idea, hopefully, is to get to an arrangement that you don't really have to know what you're doing. To just kind of be able to look at some screenshots and say, okay, I'll just plop down this type of equipment and I'm good to go. I'm not sure if that's ever going to be possible for a sour gas boiler. None of these are, it's a complex operation, no matter what you do. Okay, so what's next? So I've got a bunch of automation up here that I'm using because I'm running a lot of different aqua tuners. And I don't think I need all of that. Since it's going to be such a... That's all just because I have a ton of aqua tuners and I was trying to figure out which ones I wanted to use. I don't think I need that. I could pretty much just say, if it gets hot, we're going to do something with it. I've definitely done episodes with pretty much 90% spreadsheets. But I do want people to actually watch my video. So I have to include something besides a spreadsheet. All right. So, right up here. Okay, so now we got to figure out the supercoolant flow. Supercoolant flow. So up top, we've got the heater. It's going to do its thing. We're going to heat this up. Let's figure out where this pipe's going to run. kind of got a decent amount of, it's got a long ways to go. So what I know that I want down here is I just want thermium, and we're just going to do this number. Okay, that always works. It's kind of already crowded over there, so maybe I'll just reverse that. Okay, so that's the supercoolant loop. Not quite complete, but that's at least where I put it up. I have what are all these numbers about? Jeez. All right, so up here, this is an interesting thing that I was thinking about. So last time I was using supercoolant over here in a bath with the tepidizer, and that was to keep the temperature at, I don't know, 240 degrees Celsius or so. And that sets the lowest possible temperature that the liquid can reach because it always flows through that. If you don't do that, then the liquid will get too cold, and then you run through the aquatuner and it won't actually transfer heat around. So you need something to limit how cold the system can get. However, that's a lot of liquid, you know. So I was thinking about potentially just using water and then only running the pipe through that if it absolutely needed to be cooled. So if it went below that temperature, 240 degrees Celsius, then it would run through kind of a liquid bath. So I'm going to try that. I'm not 100% sure it's going to work. But hey, that is why we're in sandbox mode here. Okay. So now I need a place for this liquid reservoir. So it's going to check the temperature before and then go into the reservoir to balance its temperature after, and then run back into the tepidizer. Do I do this full-time, Robert? Yes. Yes, I do. Or shall I say I'm trying to do it full-time. This is currently my job, but I'm also doing developing a 3D printer product thing in the background as well. So this isn't my only focus, but this is definitely, I would say, easily 40 hours a week at this point. So the full plan of my channel here by the end of this year is to obviously have this channel up and running and hopefully be able for it to stand on its own. And then at the same time, I'm also developing a 3D printer that's designed to get people into, you know, building ideas like this, right? You can have ideas and you kind of throw them in a game, but be able to actually do it in real life using a 3D printer. And that project teaches you a lot of the skills you need in order to build things such as wiring, assembly, CAD, and whatnot. So that's what that project is all about. There's kind of more about it on my Patreon page, but I haven't made the official video yet. I'm still tweaking just that printer just a little bit more, but there's a fun story to be told there. Actually, I do have the algae diffuser. It's no longer the deoxidizer. It's here. This one. Yeah. I never made it into a bubble machine though. All right, let's keep focusing here. Keep moving along. So what I want to do is use a thermal sensor somewhere and then kick it out if I have the right temperature. So if it is, shall we say, if it's below the threshold, then I will run it through this loop and then reinsert it over there. However, if it's not, well, then I'm just going to run it over here into the tank. Except for that, oh, I'm going to start with a granite pipe because I don't know if I really want to run supercoolant that's that cold through water, even though, I don't know, we'll see. So this up here is just a heat sink. That's its only purpose. It'll be filled with water. Blip. There you go. So if that goes below, I don't know, 10 degrees or something, we can set it for actually a fairly reasonable number. Then we'll run through that. All right, so now that I have my supercoolant, what I want to do is feed it back into the tepidizer here. You can see that's kind of spaghetti-ing already because I'm running from the right side to the left side. I almost feel like that should be flipped. Oh well. It's not too bad, I guess. Alright, I know what you're saying. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. There we go. Ha. It's basically the same thing, but now I'm happy. What bridge is the wrong way? No, that one's right. Oh, that's wrong. There we go. Thanks. I only plug those in backwards every time. Telling you, green should be in, white should be out. Ah. Or, you know, if they just put an I and then like an O, that would probably be more simple. I don't know. I feel like... it's driven me nuts for forever. I don't know. I've done it 1,000 times by now. I've never gotten it right. Clay, what are you doing to me? All right, so we have super coolant. That's cool. Do I have some super coolant ready to go down here? Yes, we do. Have fun. Pipe. There you go. Power. Oh my gosh. Alright, so power. I think it's right. Enable. You got power now. Yes. Now, Fee, wow! Thank you so for the 20 bucks there. The pipes should flash when there's possibly that the liquid will get confused. I'm not sure how that would work. I suppose, you know what they could do, right? From a user interface, if we really wanted to, I mean, at this point, just finish the game. But you could potentially have like a green line that shows the indication of flow, right? Or kind of like a progress bar that would run along this, but it would be, instead of circles, it'd be like a line. Something like that would potentially show the direction. Thrash, there's some other options down there. If you go down to the Twitch channel, it all leads to the same place, actually. It's not all the same system, though. Yeah, all these live streaming services currently don't want to cooperate with each other. Okay, so you see how that liquid was flowing in kind of rough there? I don't want that. What I want is that to be nice and smooth. No, that's like the wrong thing to do. How do I make that one? No. Okay, here's what I do. That way, this has priority over the other flow, because I don't want something to get stuck up there and just sit around all day. That would not be good. Bridge! Bridge! 300 comments talking about a bridge. All right. Okay, good deal. How much liquid do I have now? More than enough. Got 830 kilograms inside there. I'm trying to figure out just how little we can use it at some point. Does sulfur have any use? The only use that I've heard of thus far is we could potentially use it for cooling. So we could potentially use like an auto sweeper and throw it on a rail. But besides that, I don't know. It will probably have a use come the end of the month when we actually get a preview for what's going to happen here in the next update of the game. Which way do I want the gas to flow? Top down? No, I want to flow from bottom up. No. Yes. No. Yes. Maybe it doesn't really matter. It always matters. I think what I want it to do is just flow across. Because the temperature, right, the temperature gradient that rolls through here is going to be the same. And then you just combine them together later on. Or do you want them to all like at the same temps? Wait, what am I doing with oil? Where's my oil? My oil is right here. It's already doing that thing. Technically, we want to take away as much energy as possible. We're gonna have to play around with it because I don't know exactly what I want to do. Oh my. That sour gas boiler chat over there is blown up. All right. So, there goes all of that. Yeah. I'm gonna try to stay on. We'll see what happens here. The weather has turned sour. It was sunny like a minute ago. Welcome to Ohio. Don't stop the stream. Just save the recording. Ha! Good to go. Okay, so let's try to... What do I got? What do I need to hook up now? I think it's time for some generators. Those are always so fun. Okay, so the nice thing about this is that we don't need a ton of generators. We only need 6. This arrangement over here worked out pretty good. So if I just have, what, 2 tiles down there and then a mesh above that, it's a good way to go. And then every 4th, another tile. We just make those out of steel, and 6 should be enough for what we're dealing with today. All right, so now we got some power. We're gonna throw that down here. This is always good. These ones will just kind of power the system to the left. We still alive? Okay, I think we're still here. Okay, we're good. We're good. For now. Just a bit of lag spike while we shrug off a thunderstrike. No problem. What's a little lightning bolt, huh? Please don't. I already have like a permanent pond where my backyard used to be at this point. It's been there for a month. Ducks have moved in. Yes. Like I've seriously wondered, like when it comes to a puddle, like what is the flipper clearance that a duck prefers? You know, is it like 3 inches, 4 inches? How deep does it need to be? All I know is if I drive my lawnmower into it, I don't think I'm gonna get out. Oh boy, now my YouTube channel, it's all gone. Come back to me, live stream. Oh, we're back. Okay, so once I have this gas, we're gonna go ahead and pass it over here. You know, and in this setup, you really don't have to be all that fancy about it. Like in the last setup, since I needed so many pumps, and I needed to get over the capacity of one pump. I needed to do this kind of like fun loop, which is definitely fun. You know what? I'm just going to do that because it's that fun. There we go. Now the gas will go around. It's a gas around. Perfect. Okay, now one annoying thing when it comes to this carbon dioxide stuff is that you have to like bridge each one of these in order to stack the gas on top of the other one. Otherwise, the generator beneath it will actually just get blocked up. And that's no fun. There you go. Is that enough in and outs for you in one spot? Perfect. I don't see anything wrong with that. I need batteries. Oh. Batteries. More batteries is better. Lots of batteries. Yes. AAAs? Put them on the other side. This side? And you know, we could put the batteries wherever we want. They're just there. Alright, so are we to the point of actually plugging this thing in and seeing if it works? I think we're getting pretty close. Now, the thing about this is that we've left this area all open over here in case that we wanted to expand it. What we don't have yet is the oil well. All right, let's see if I can do this. We'll just slap the oil well right there. Ha! Andrew! Hey, thank you for being a member here. Welcome. Thanks for supporting the stream and the channel. At this point, I can't tell if the liquid sounds are coming from in the game or from the world around me. Both. Both at this point. Okay, so now CV, there you go. Now, that liquid is... I can't handle those pipes. There's a Discord channel on... I have a channel on my Discord server if you want to show off your sour gas boiler. For right now, I'm just focusing on this, though. Okay. So the polluted water... that's going to be from over here. Suppose I want that right there, actually. That would make more sense on this side. Yeah, there's definitely a storm here, that's for sure. We'll try to make it through that. Okay, so the plumbing that's going to come out of here, this is going to be all of our polluted water, which we can pump from right up there. So we're going to have just a spot for the pumping to do that number right there. And that will just flow in there. Easy enough. And we'll flip that so it's... I wish I could just kind of replace equipment, you know, just like pick it up and move it to a different spot. But now I'm just asking for everything, aren't I? Okay, polluted water goes in there, it comes out as clean water, beautiful. Clean water is going to go into that. And because I don't want to replumb it, I'll just use that. All right, so the crude oil is going to flow in. This is where it goes into my setup. idea for that. You know, I haven't messed, Green Mind, I haven't really messed with the fertilizer makers ever since they made the change. Like, they kind of turned me off to the whole thing. Not that I just never really looked back at them. I don't know. Haven't touched them in a long time. To be fair, I don't even use them when I play a game either. Like, I just build a bigger farm. All right. So, what do we got going on here? Power. How much juice do I have? You got 1,200 there. So I'm going to need to separate this one up there and that one so that they don't run all together. Wow, this doesn't require much power at all. Oh boy. Power wires always do fun things when you paste them in from the blueprint tool. Okay, so now we need to give this some startup juice. Manual generator, man, it's gonna take a lot of juice, isn't it? Let's use this one here. Doesn't like to put bridges there. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So if we bring this all the way over, and then we could just kind of pipe it in. This is just for testing. Well, maybe not. Maybe you'd actually do this. I don't know. Bring power in from somewhere just to give it enough startup power. Although I would probably take these and put them on a switch. I'm just going to use a real switch, but ew, all the wrong elements. Okay. So now we're going to get into testing. So I'm going to save out the next version here. Okay, so there's some juice. One thing I did not put here is a steam turbine. Although I really doubt we're going to make a lot of use out of that, but we'll see. More automation. Need a hydro sensor down here. There we go. So if this goes above just like 2 kilograms, then it'll run. Now, does that have power? No, it's just an accessory though. Okay, so what I want to do is use automation between this and a battery. And then what I do up here is I'll just put a signal switch. That lets me override it. So the switch essentially allows me to run the natural gas generators continuously, but if I run it on the battery, then it will automate to the smart battery. That's what's going on there. All of this needs power. There we go. Ugh. Please don't do that to me. There. Take care of that problem. Okay, so there, now we're trying to get this thing started up. Let's see how hard this is. So if this goes above, let's say 200 kilograms Then I let that run. So we're just going to build up a bit of crude oil up there first. Yeah, I'm going to build a door on top of heavy wire. Yeah, they took that out. The whole trick with the doors. Yeah. Okay, so if this is below 10 degrees Celsius, then we run it. So it's right at 10, not a problem there. Okay, here's what I need. I need some water up in here. Don't need much. Just a drop of it. Blip. So what's the automation on this? No, that's going to the wrong thing. The automation needs to go from here to here. So if this goes above 600, goes below 600. Above. There we are. And if this is below negative 240, then we run that. Okay, good deal. Hey now, why you gotta go overheating on me, liquid filter? Are you telling me you're in a vacuum? Of course you are. There's like only like a little bit of oxygen here. Here's how I solve that problem. Have fun. Just make a bathroom for this poor dupes. But they have a bathroom. They're the ones not using it. It's not my fault. Jeez. there's a bathroom. Okay, so what's running around here? Nothing. This is trying to get up to temperature. That's trying to get down to temperature. It just needs a lot of power. Okay, one way to do this is we can just add a bunch of natural gas. $200 kilograms. How much is that compared to a gas reservoir? 150. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, all right. So we're trying to get this thing up and running at this point. So let's just take a look at what's happening here. There's some more automation that isn't set up here. This, oops, I got a ton of oil up there. This should only be set to like below 4 kilograms. So that is way too much. There you go. Matter of fact, that might even want to be set to 1 for right now because it's such a small system. Although you're still going to get like 20 kilograms up there because of... Oh, because you're still going to get like 20 kilograms. Okay. Ah. That'll be fine. All right. So here's the temperature. I might try to speed this up a little bit. Oh boy. Here's how you go real fast and oxygen not included. And my dupes can't get to the oil well. Oh well. There you go. Now you need power. There we go. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. The chat's kind of delayed from where I'm at, so kind of hard to figure out. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Let's just check the automation here. That is below. Okay, excellent. That's what I want it to do. And the liquid is flowing around. So it's going in at negative 250 and it's coming out at negative 240. So therefore we then run through the aqua tuner again. So that is nice and cold down there. We've got some oil that's backed up. This one's waiting. Really, we're just waiting for heat. So if you give this thing some natural gas to just chill out over here, you know, it's doing a fine job of holding all this equipment, because it is powering all of this stuff. Or is this still on? Oh, that's still on. You're cheating, batteries. Ooh, now we're starting to get over 400 degrees. Yes. I'll probably want to add some thermal shift plates up in here. Renan? That is to potentially preheat this to the point of turning into petroleum before we actually feed it into its main heating chamber. So it's an idea of actually preheating the oil a little bit more than what I'm actually doing with just the natural gas. Well, I don't have metal tiles on the right. I kind of wanted to see how this would do as it is, with the idea that I could expand it off to the right and make the cooling part down here bigger. Oh! Alright. How much more natural gas do I need? So from the looks of it, to power this thing up, you're just going to need, probably just need a decent store of natural gas. Alright, a few more degrees and we'll hopefully have our first signs of sour gas here. This is very, looks like an eye. Still waiting for that heat. Gosh, it has a long, long time to get up there. What did I do over here to make that flow less? I put a little bit of a liquid valve there. Nope, that wasn't feeding that one at all. It's just so close that I got less in there. Okay. Maybe I ought to do this. Mop this up a little bit, try to get less in there. Because you can see we just had like 50 kilograms in there. It's just a lot of liquid. So why am I heating the supercoolant? I'm heating the supercoolant because otherwise this would be too cold. And if it's too cold, then I just don't get anything out of it when it runs through the aqua tuner. It'll just lock up. The system will no longer function. But from the looks of it, I'm not doing enough cooling, so I'm going to change that to a radiant. No, you're right. There's a little oxygen in there. Ah, that'll be... should be cooled out, actually. Apparently not. Yeah. We'll get rid of that oxygen in there. There we go. Alright, so now, finally getting our first... what do we got down here? Sulfur. Oh, we were just cooling down the pump. Now we got the liquids. Yes, now we're running. Alright, so it's going to take a little bit for the temperatures to balance here because we still got to wait for these metal tiles to reach any sort of equilibrium. So you know what would be a good idea is if I just stored up some gas down here. This is kind of temporary, but whoa, not what I wanted. So then if I do this number, then I could just kind of vent this. Because I'm going to leave that off for a little bit. See how long it takes to get up to equilibrium here. These are some of the things I do when I'm just testing this stuff. And I know that I'm going to have to let it sit here and run for a long time. It's not quite self-powering just yet. Okay. I mean, those are some other options, but that's really not what I'm... like, I don't really want to cool oxygen. I mean... I could see it being an extra... I don't know how you'd... how I'd title that video, is what I'm getting at. Okay, so one of the things here is I may just not have enough. Is this thing getting too hot? Yeah, that's getting way too hot. I need to crank in a lot more. Okay, there we go. So here's the temperature overlay. You can see we got the sour gas down there. This is actually working out pretty good in that it's like 30 degrees Celsius right down here by the time it's at the bottom. And then right up here, well, it's only 100 degrees Celsius. So I think we're still really trying to heat this big body of crude oil up. That idea may just not be a good one. Wow, okay. So that managed to run like 600 kilograms into there. Might just be too small of a space. Man, it's about to throw a bunch of heat out. Set that to 650. Now there goes a mountain of sour gas. Oh, buddy. Just barfed 20 kilograms down there. That's always fun. Yeah, system hates it when it does that stuff. All right, reset. It was doing good until this one, for whatever reason, didn't flow over to the other side. Yeah, it is that little packet of hydrogen gas that isn't, and then it just flows in there like mad. It's rude. Oxygen not included. Heh. Oh my gosh. There's like a million ideas over here. If that isn't the most tile hack, I don't know. Whatever. Good. I'll take it. Okay, so the other thing here that I've done in the past is I've used a thermal, an atmos sensor down here in order to control the pressure. That too saves this thing from backing up. So some of these ideas would be great to maybe include in another video at some point. So I've got this great spot for it over here on Discord, sour gas boiler. Jump on there, drop a picture, make it real easy. All right, looks like it's running pretty good now. It's that temperature. It should be like 120 or so. That's usually what I see down there. 120, yes. 112, I mean. 112. That's cold. We're at 300 up here. I would like to see that get higher. I'd like to see that be higher, not necessarily get higher. What do we got? Some oxygen, we got some carbon dioxide in here, and that's fun. What's the temperature like in here? Warm, but not hot enough. What's the temperature of this gas? 120 degrees Celsius? Man, that's kind of efficient, isn't it? Okay. Goodbye, gas pipes. We're gonna replace you with just some good old granite. I like my granite pipes. They're cheap. Temperature up here. Now that's working. Let's take a look at this one, see if it changes over time. Still 230 degrees Celsius. That's a little bit almost too cold. So here's where I think I might want to try to add temperature shift plates at some point. What I'd really like to do is start to get some baseline numbers here so that I know what I'm doing, if it's making an improvement or not. So let's see if I can shut down the rest of this stuff. How? Slow down. Be quiet, my generators. Okay. Good. All right, so there we go. That stuff has been disabled. Now let's see what else is running. We got this old legacy steam turbine. How does that report? Okay, so now I can see my natural gas generators. The manuals will ignore those. Steam turbines, hydrogen generator. I am not piping any of this natural gas into there. How about that? Forgot about that. Okay, so let's set this up to run 100% now so that we don't... These generators just continue to run and run. So let's take a look at my measurables so I can see if I improve or make things worse. So the measurables I have is the temperature in for the crude oil. That right there is right around 150, which is not very hot. The temperature of the gas on the way out, that's at 100. Obviously, we'll get some reports once we see how much power we're actually putting through this. Why isn't this running? There you go. So, am I supplying more natural gas than my generators can handle? Let's find out. It's at 20 kilograms. No, it's going down. Which is good because I calculated it'd be 5 point something. Ideally, you want to actually meter this thing down. And I think the way we would meter it down is with this liquid valve. Although one thing I can see up here that's happening is I might want to use a better material than iron right here. I'm generating a little bit too much heat. So the way I got around this last time is I had kind of a temperature detection to see if it was cold enough already and I could just bypass it. Because to get the supercoolant from here to down where it needs to go, it has to go through that. So I might want to do something there, but pretty close to even though. I mean, look at how, like, the natural gas is not, it's not too bad. Some of it's still making, you know, going all the way around the loop. Uh, 2,328 kilojoules. So this is kind of the boring part when it comes to doing this kind of stuff, is that you kind of just have to sit here and watch this. You have to let it run for a while, think of some ideas, and then go and tweak it. If you just end up tweaking as faster than you can see what you're getting out of the system, you never know if what you're doing is right. It's actually kind of the primary reason I don't really live stream this sort of content that much. It's because this is like the longest and most boring part. Alright, let's see what that report was. We'll see if we're trending up or down. That's 1,835. Yeah, but you need to observe what's going on here. So the temperature of this might be going up too much. Let's take a look at these reports. Yeah, it's starting to slow down. 1,683. So what's stopping this? I'm seeing a lot of heat happen right up here. That's going up there. I got to do something about that. So I got to check the temperature here to see if I can bypass the aqua tuner. Or maybe the better option here is to first start by just replacing this with a better material. Now I've found that I've transferred a fair bit more heat when I use a temperature shift plate right down here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, those are two modifications down there. Let's see if we can keep the temperature heading down instead of up. 650. Let's change that. Oh, no, we're changing a little too fast here. 884. You know, another way that I'm metering this is obviously with this sensor right here. If I allow more pressure in here, we're going to push more down faster. More down faster, yes. Uh, 1669. So no change. We'll increase the pressure for the sour gas. Thinking about a temperature shift plate right here between the steam and the metal tiles. Yeah, that might help. We did too much. It's close, but it's still a little bit too much. Had a very small amount of supercoolant right in here. Okay, there's another idea. Come on. Catch up. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, we'll reset it. One possible thing that we could do is we could put a door right there. That would separate the two chambers. Then again, the temperature down here is just too hot, and the temperature over here is not hot enough. So, now we're going to take a look at temperature shift plates between here and there. The reason for that, John, is because it would turn into a solid. You get too many solid buildups if you use pipes down here. Alright, so now how's the temperature? 80, 80, good. So that balanced it out. Okay, the biggest problem is we're just pumping monstrous amounts of heat at this thing. This temperature up here is probably way above than what it should be. Yeah, it's like 600. Making everything harder than it needs to be. All right. so if that is below 240, we'll just run right past it. Now, if it's above 240. Wrong way. Jeez, get out of here. Set that to be 575, so it isn't quite as hot. 600 was actually what I was using last time, so. Kind of like this when it was a steam turbine a little bit more. I feel like it's just, I don't know. I guess it's working. $1,879. Let's see where we're at the end of this next cycle. Now you can see this crude oil is starting to go up in temperature now that we put these temperature shift plates here. What I'd like to see is that get close to 400. Ooh, this is looking promising. 2,000 kilojoules. Yes, these are, that's just some sulfur. It's building up down there. You don't get all of it out. You get some that's liquid methane, and you get some of sulfur. If I, oop, Let's wait for this cycle to end before I change this. But I can increase the pressure here of natural gas. Which means I might be able to absorb some more heat out of this. Well, the idea here is to have just a few more generators than you need. I don't want to end up with a bunch of natural gas I can't use. $2,000. Ooh, there we go. Now we're getting some consistent numbers. 2031. Beautiful. We're going to set that to be 1500. Okay, that might have been a little bit too much too fast. No, hang on. No, never mind. See, the temperature there is not really dropping, is it? Maybe a little bit. The heat over here, wow, it's 160 degrees. If I can get that oxygen out of the way, there we go. That thing's gonna overheat in no time. Yeah, we might be able to get more heat into that crude oil. It's currently 295. Gosh, where do I click on here? It's 296, at least on that temperature shift plate. I kind of want to see if it goes up. Oh, I'm sorry, the temperature shift plate is 298. It's fairly balanced. At like exactly 300. Let's just try this. Let's just step up the pressure a little bit. No, that's not it. You can usually tell just how close to this thing here is to being overpowered by where it's actually condensing. So we are condensing on this bottom row right there, which means I'm just about out of cooling capacity. I don't know if you ever remove the pocket of gas in the oil. Let's find out. Hydro. I'm not going to make it longer. It's plenty long as is. Because the idea is to make it small, not bigger. The idea is to make it smaller. That's the whole, it's in the title of the video. Yes, it's slowly going up. What I can do is this. There's other ways of adding length without making it longer. Wow, I don't know. This is getting dangerous, this commentary. Insulation, get out of there. Iron, get out of there. So, let's just pause things up real quick. Gold tiles might actually be a pretty simple shift. Matter of fact, now that you say that. And it's easy enough to get your hands on. Try not to make everything out of thermium, you know? Try to make it a little bit more practical. Thermium might actually just be able to do it, but... You only live once. Thermium it is. Yeah. There we go. You can now see where we're condensing way up there. Let's see if we're getting any backup. So the temperature that we're flowing in at is at 84 degrees Celsius right now. Temperature of the oil, it's still trying to make its way back up to 300. Let's test one thing at a time, people. All right, Andrew. Have a good day. Thanks for becoming a member, man. It's too hot. All right. Here's how you get around doing some things. Alright, what was the reports of the previous cycle? 2,314. Headed in the right direction. And from the looks of it, this is the other thing I want to keep an eye on. How hot is this thermal sensor up there? Like, does it keep going up? We're right around 20 degrees now at 898. Because I might actually have to use a steam turbine or something to keep it cool. Hey, welcome from Australia. 4:30 in the morning. The rest of you guys are soft. 2,281. All right, so we got some nice consistent numbers. Let's bring the pressure up because you can see where this is condensing. Try 6,000. Handling it like a champ. How about 7,000? Still handling it. 8,000. We're just gonna keep turning it up. We're at 9,000. Yeah. I've ran out of natural gas generators. Oh, there it is. Okay, so right at 9,000, it started to move down a little bit further in the cooling. You can see the temperature up there is a little bit hotter too. Went up from 80 something to like 90 something. So that previous cycle, ooh, 2,565. So it seems like we might be able to shave a tile out of this, you know, and make it be a little bit, we could go up a little bit from here. And we could generate a little bit less natural gas too, because at this point, we're making more than what this thing was set up to do. Which means I can make it smaller. $10,000 it is. And we're producing a lot of extra natural gas. We're just polluting the asteroid at this point. 15,000 then. No problem. Although you can see the pressure isn't actually going up from there. It's kind of slow. Maybe because the liquid can't run in fast enough. We'll increase the flow. Interesting. There's definitely a relationship between the speed at which the liquid is flowing in and the pressure that it's able to build up. Anyhow. Let's try to make sure that no other equipment here. Okay, maybe that's running. That's not a big deal. Disable that. I want to see how efficient we are. Ooh, don't ever turn this off for a while. You'll end up with liquid sulfur up there. So, yeah, it kind of does increase the transfer if I were to put oil directly onto this. The reason I'm not doing that is I like the gas to flow down like this. I really just wanted to have a hot side and a cold side. It's more, I'm doing this more because of the arrangement. And I do have a lot of control. You end up with a lot of liquid very, very fast if you put it on top of the aqua tuner. $2,881. Okay, so I built a smaller system. It's still able to produce more power than I have generators. Which makes me think I could reduce the size a fair bit. No, I'm not looking to use the entire output from a well. I was really just looking to make it a little bit smaller. Steam is good for what it's doing here. It's got thermal conductivity of 1.18 and specific heat capacity of 4.1. If you compare that to hydrogen, you'll see the numbers are a little lower. So specific heat capacity of hydrogen is 2.4 and the thermal is 1.6. So steam is better in both. Alright, let me break out the chart and we'll see just kind of how what I want to do is actually bring that back down. I'm producing too much. Well, steam isn't the most practical thing to use. Because it doesn't have a decent temperature range. So it isn't really considered, it isn't really used in the same places. Let me just make a copy of this. Make a copy. Could potentially change these tiles over. I did try to increase the pressure here a little bit. Still about 100 degrees Celsius now. So it's a little bit hotter. Liquid pump has moved up to 300 and something now. Oh, we did make this a tad bit shorter. That too. We'll make those out of gold. Let's see what happens. It is heating up, but it's not like... It's not... It's very, very cold once it gets past this liquid vent. Which makes me think I might want to just reverse it. don't know. I want to see numbers before I start making more decisions on it. See, it's still 100 degrees Celsius. We weren't limited by the tile choice. Yeah, let's try it. Let's save this real quick. See if we can get the temperature lower by the time it's down here. But before then, let me get the numbers. Because they really shouldn't be that bad. My net is 1,800. Or shall we say 1,880. So that's the number to beat. But you can see I'm actually wasting energy right now because I'm still making too much natural gas. My gosh, I'm running this too fast. That just isn't really the right way to do this. No, that isn't gonna do it. I'm running out of gas here, guys. I'm probably gonna end streaming here pretty soon. So, let's just do this number real quick. See if I can settle down to something, and then that, I think it's going to be... Try to get some numbers here. We'll do one more test, but then I think that's gonna be it. Just wanted to see if I got too much. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Be right back. Chair time. Hey, 6,000 seems to be maybe the magic number. Did it line up perfect? Oh, I'm not gonna fall asleep. I'm just getting a little tired. And I'm trying to keep my patience. There's a lot of backseat gaming going on. Which is fine, that's what this is about. But you can only take it for so long. Yeah, it's only 5 o'clock. Okay, so there's a beautiful number. Look at that. Still getting 2,881 kilojoules. But my net has moved up to 1,921. Beautiful. Oh, I love the standing desk. I think it's made my life a whole lot better. I've actually been standing for years. Years now. Started off on like boxes, cardboard boxes. When I was working at my last job, I'd get like the paper ream boxes and just stack them up. Everybody thought I was ridiculous, and then a couple of years later, everybody had standing desks. The entire office. I started a whole trend with cardboard boxes. Now I stand at my desk probably anywhere from 5 to 6-ish hours. The ones you want to get is the one with the electric thing that goes up and down, and then just get an MDF board and stick that on top so you get a big table. It's a lot better than the ones that you kind of like pick up and move. Man, you need something like carpet to stand on, otherwise it's kind of rough. Like get a soft rug or something, not one of those weird gel things. Those just mess with your feet. Ooh, what is this cycle? Don't tell me you're going the opposite direction, natural gas thing. You are. Okay. 2793. One 787 that divided by that. Ooh, that ain't too good. 64%. Problem solved. Goodbye. Alright, so what was the change I was going to make? We're currently sitting at 64%. So which isn't that isn't that great. But then again, this water up here keeps getting hotter. That is not a sustainable arrangement yet. I think the steam turbine up top, on top of this, is the way to go. That actually worked. Oh. What was I gonna do? I don't remember. Some other things I could do is play around with these numbers here. Make things go lower and higher. That tends to help. Could you place the oil on top of the heat to cool the aqua tuner? No, but I could probably do this. Hold up. What if I put the temperature shift plate right there? Radiant pipe through aqua tuner before drop to heat it. I don't think I like that. That was too much. Not enough separation. What if I did this? Really just maximized everything in here. That's what it was. We were going to move this down here to see if that made a difference. That's right. Okay, so what I want down here, plumbing wise, just a little liquid vent. And then if I put the gas pumps right there. Okay. Now in here we've got all of that oil that's moving up. I don't think we have to worry about it. All right, so we've reversed this. Let's see how that goes. You. All right, so now what I want to see here, ultimately I want to see the percentage be better between the amount of power we use and consume. The rate and pressure should all be the same. How am I actually going to use less? Where am I going to save power? Only if this thing didn't run as much, right? Hey now, steam turbine. I gave you 2 chunks of oxalite to stay cool. What are you doing? You getting too hot? There, have some more oxalite. Oh, you're not. It's this down here. Never mind. My bad. Stay cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. It's flowing in at 378. I've got too many numbers. Let's see what the report is at the end of this cycle. Okay, so here's what's up. Here's what I'm doing that's wrong, I think. That's 240. If I set that to 250, then I won't run it to the point where it heats up again, but rather... Oops. What was the report from the previous cycle? Before I go and change something here. 1,600. 268. It's probably gonna be the same thing. One 690. Pretty much the same percentage. See, now the liquid got cool enough. So we're still cooling it, but we're not using more power. And there we use more power. Ah, that's what it was. That's what I was doing wrong. Utilize the right side of your denser column as a heat exchange point. I don't know, I think this is going to be it. You're right in that there's nothing to cool the water on top. But I'm fairly convinced at this point that I don't really want the tepidizer here. I'd rather have a steam turbine. Ooh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. 2,228 net. Beautiful. So from 63 to 64-ish percent to, I typed the wrong number. All right, there we are. Now we're right up to where we were last time at 82%. Beautiful. Okay. So some tweaks to make to this. Relocate this thing so that it's not on top. Just put it somewhere, maybe over here. Put the steam turbine back up there so that, you know, if you just need to run it for just a moment, just to keep this cool, then go ahead and do that. You could even do an ice maker. Should probably be enough to handle that. You see how little this is running now. So a little bit more cleanup, and I think we'll have a fairly straightforward method here of how to make this, you know, relatively small. Because you can see at this point, this is just running 6 natural gas generators. But as I've shown before, if we take this pressure and we turn it up, you know, we could potentially run another 4 generators or so. So if I followed this format and just make it really big, maybe 100,000 kilojoules? Maybe? Oh, don't worry about the gas quality in here. Psh, Liam will be just fine. Some dude's just gonna open this door up and just get blasted by a bunch of carbon dioxide and steam all at the same time. Followed by some dirty water in the face. Yeah, good stuff. All right, one more result. And then we'll see just how we finished up here. So that's 2,700. 52. 2260. 82%. One right after another. Sweet. And you make the design. You know what? We could keep this just like it is if you just put an ice maker above it. Yeah. But that requires a dupe, so I don't know if you'd want to throw your dupes at that. This one? Yeah, what did I do here? Well, honestly, I think the dupes just opened the door and dumped a bunch of the carbon dioxide out a bunch of times. Oh, you could get rid of the carbon dioxide if you wanted to. I mean, you got water right there. Just throw in the, whatchamacallit. Where is it? Is it under oxygen? There it is. Carbon skimmer. You could throw a carbon skimmer in there and have some fun if you wanted to. Shoot, you could even probably grow slicksters right in this room. It's hot enough, you might even end up with molten slicksters. There you go. Then some poor dupe would have to go and run in there every single day. Slowly melting to death. Who wants to be the first one? Hollywood? Alright, Hollywood, come here. Come here, buddy. How do you like it? I don't think he's having a good time. Here, cozy up to this cool steam turbine. Ah, there you go. There you go. Alright, guys. I'm going to head out. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Other ideas for me, you guys know you can either leave them in the comment section when this video becomes a... when this stream becomes a video. Or there's a lot of comments already on the Discord channel under hashtag SourGasBoiler channel. Yeah, I don't know why all the patron dupes, they're the ones that always get like... They get the worst of every situation. I don't mean it to be that way, it just happens. Alright, have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.